We begin in Rivers State, where the government has demolished the House of Assembly. A statement by the Commissioner for Information and Communications justifies the decision, saying that it would make way to rebuild the complex after structural defects caused by a recent explosion and fire incident. But our correspondent, Andy Omano reports that the move has generated mixed reactions.
The once gigantic, beautiful edifice of the Rivers State House of Assembly being pulled down. A total of 11 bulldozers were reportedly engaged to execute the job. They arrived at the complex before 7 a.m. Wednesday. Expectedly, the executive action is seen by some as misplaced, given the taxpayers' money expended to erect the edifice.
There's no justification for what is happening in Rivers State. When we think of the internecine effects, when we think of the cost to the common taxpayer, when we think of the position of the common Nigerian, people should be thinking of rebuilding this nation and not doing things that will bring the nation down. What we are going to do, we will meet the governor, a suit of Niger Delta, especially in Rivers State, Faga chapter. We will meet him and talk with him to shatter his sword and to make sure there is peace in our state so that development can continue. We'll also meet the former governor, who is the current minister of FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike. We'll also tell him the same thing.
Describe it as a case of different strokes for different folks. These respondents commend the move.
One of the problems the governor is having with Nyesom Wike is what? The issue of the Songhai farm. He's trying to resuscitate it. Why must you go to resuscitate one of those things that we abandoned? I abandoned. Because the Songhai farm was the project, the brainchild of the former governor, Rotimi Amechi. He abandoned it. That of Bukuma, he sold it. Then number two again, how dare you appoint a commissioner without my consent? We are talking about information commissioner. You know, it's a portmanteau of issues, not just one thing.
If the assembly complex is not conducive, which of course I know, when you go sight through it, you find out that even the building is being old. There are mucus everywhere. So if the executive governor has come up and said, let me give a befitting building for my legislators, I don't think if anything is wrong with that.
But the Rivers State Commissioner for Information and Communications says the demolition is not misplaced.
It will not be fair to continue to allow people risk their lives in the guise of lawmaking. So I want to think that this decision is the best, because I'm sure that anybody who is honest about the situation in that assembly will know that a structure that is in use for more than 20 years had never had proper routine maintenance is capable of causing mayhem.
Johnson assures Rivers people that his principal, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, is in charge of the state.
I want to assure Rivers people that Rivers State is still peaceful. His Excellency is up and running. Government is very caring. I can assure us that the situation will come under full control.
Built during the second tenure of the former Governor Peter Odili's administration, the Rivers House of Assembly complex was then said to be the most gigantic and beautiful in Nigeria. All that, as they say, is now history. But in the interim, the Rivers State government has provided an alternative venue for the House of Assembly to conduct its affairs pending the reconstruction of the complex.
Today, the 13th day of December 2023, we go down in the political history of Rivers State as that day where the entire House of Assembly complex was pulled down for reconstruction. From Moscow Road, where you have the House of Assembly complex here in Port Harcourt, it is Andy Omano reporting for Arise News.
Still in Rivers State, the executive governor of the state has unveiled his 2024 budget to a state House of Assembly that was made up of 5 lawmakers. It is a sign that politicians there are spinning out of control amid the fires of discord that are reportedly being stoked by the former governor and now Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike. At the budget presentation, the court-backed Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Edison Ehe, declared the seats of the 25 members who recently defected from the PDP to the APC vacant. Those lawmakers are said to be loyal to the former governor, Wike. The sitting was held at a temporary venue within the Government House in Port Harcourt.
On the motion to declare the seat of 25 defected members of the Rivers House of Assembly vacant. This House received correspondence, notices, and publications, including letters from 25 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly of their former defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress. And we have also confirmed this visually, including videos that were posted via media houses and including the social media. We are aware that it is the right members and every Nigerian regards freedom of association. Consequently, distinguished colleagues, the House, having deliberated formally on the motion before it in line with our standing order and the Constitution of 1999 of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, I hereby declare the seats of the following honorable members of the Rivers State House of Assembly vacant.
Well, to discuss further on the Rivers State House of Assembly matter, we have our correspondent in Rivers State, Andy Omano. Also, we have Dr. Ruben Abati with us here in the studio. Good morning, Andy, and of course, welcome, Dr. Abati.
It's all right. Well, Andy Omano, good morning.
Good morning.
What's the situation the morning after?
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Yeah, what's the situation the morning after? 5 lawmakers have declared the seats of 25 others vacant, or is it 26 others vacant, who were in Abuja yesterday celebrating with the godfather of River State politics, as it appears. That's Nyesom Wike. So what's the latest in River State? How are the people reacting? Because it's the reaction of the people that is more important to us, because the people are the main substance of the democratic process.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Abati. How are the people reacting? Is a crossbreed, but I can say quickly that the tension that took over the entire Port Harcourt city, the capital of Rivers State yesterday, has somewhat subsided, and that is understandable because as the time, the minutes, the seconds, minutes, and hours rolled by, what was would no longer be. But I must also report quickly that everyone here in the capital city is still very, very alert, like they would say. Everyone's tentacles are on in order to see what is going to happen. But the situation here, as at this morning, the 14th day of December, is not as tense as it was yesterday. But it is the discussion that is in the lips of every resident of the Garden City. What happened? How did we get to the level of getting that edifice demolished? But of course, the Rivers State government, through the Commissioner of Information, had said a team of engineers were engaged, who advised the governor to pull down that particular structure because of the effect of, one, the fire and dynamites that rocked the House of Assembly complex, the hollow chambers, I should say, on the 30th of October. And so everybody is on the edge here, I must say. They are waiting to see what is going to happen next, because like you also rightly pointed out, why that was going on in Port Harcourt yesterday, in faraway Abuja, the nation's capital, legislators sympathetic to the immediate governor of the state, current FCT minister, were there celebrating his birthday. But of course, we are all privy to the fact that their seats have been declared vacant by the court
ratified Speaker of the House of Assembly. So we are waiting. When I say we, I'm talking of the Rivers people. What is going to happen today, the day after the demolition? Because one day, there is always one thing happening here in Rivers State since this political crisis started on October the 30th, I must say. And so everyone is watching. But this morning yes, sir.
No, I was just going to say, I was just going to say that Rivers State is beginning to live up to, I think it's Professor Aneji Okoro who wrote the book, One Day, One Trouble. Rivers State is fitting that pattern now.
Absolutely.
One day, one trouble. So you are right.
Okay, sir.
Let's see which trouble the Rivers situation will bring up today.
All right. So, Andy, thank you so much
Absolutely, Doc, you're right.
for the updates and also speaking to some members of the community who have expressed displeasure at some of the happenings in Port Harcourt. But let me ask you about Honorable Linda Somari-Stewart, who is said to have made a U-turn, one of the 27 lawmakers. And please, can you confirm that number? Because we saw the Speaker of the House say 25 members who defected to the APC. What is the accurate number of lawmakers who have defected? And then what is the update on Honorable Linda Somari-Stewart in terms of her U-turn? Has she been reabsorbed by the PDP, or what's the current situation with her?
Okay, Ayo, thanks for that very question, because we need to put the issues in very right perspective. Concerning the number of legislators that defected, 25 of them actually defected 2 days ago. Why are they 25? They are 25 because one of the legislators representing one of the constituencies from the Ogoni ethnic nationality regrettably passed on. So a dead man couldn't have decamped. One. Then two, the outstanding legislator is that of Labour Party. The man is not of the PDP, and so he couldn't have also defected with his colleagues in the PDP. And so that is what made the 25. Then the lady who was rumored yesterday to have reneged on his defection to the APC, as at last night, we were yet to get a clear picture of her situation as we speak. Some are saying she's threatening judicial fire and brimstone, that she's going to sue whoever is insinuating that he has beat a hasty retreat back to the PDP. Others are saying this lady was not on ground, that is in Nigeria, when his colleagues actually defected. And so that is the story concerning that legislator. But I can authoritatively say that 25 of them defected to the opposition People's Democratic Party at the state level here in Port Harcourt. Ayo.
Okay, I mean, very good one there. Thank you so much for the clarification. And I must have commend you for your stellar job. You know, you've been doing all this while, and since all of this started, kudos to the veteran himself, I should say this morning. Real quickly, let's talk about the budget that was passed to 4 lawmakers, or 5, or we also saw other people there. So that was a developing story I was asking you yesterday, but I'm sure you are not getting your fillers, and you couldn't have reported since you didn't get your hands on. Now you have your hands on it. Where did that event happen? Number one. Number two, the governor was there. Tell me about that event yesterday, you know, that sitting. Because it was advertised as the 90th sitting of, you know, the Rivers State House of Assembly. Tell me all about that transpired, you know, at that sitting yesterday.
Okay, thank you so much, Rufai, for that question. Where did these 4 legislators presided over by the court-backed speaker in the person of Edison Ehi, where did they sat? They sat within the confines of the government house here in Port Harcourt. Remember, this is not the first time that legislators are sitting within the government house complex. During the administration of Shubike Rotimi Amaechi, when this state was upside down politically, that same scenario played out. And so it is not novel at all. It's the second time this is happening. They sat within the precinct of the government house. And if you listen, or rather, you are also privy to the fact that the governor had said, look, we needed to pull down the House of Assembly complex because of the effect of the fire and dynamite that rocked it on the 30th of October due to professional advice for a team of engineers assorted. The governor also said it was a very Herculean decision for him to take because he had weighed the cost effect of what that decision would be. But there is no monetary involvement that could be equated to life. That was why he decided to take that very, very, very difficult situation. And so they sat, 4 of them sat, and they were the one, they sat within the precinct of Government House Rufai. And the pictures we saw yesterday were from that particular venue where they sat. And the governor also stated in the press release by the Commissioner for Information and Communication, Joe Johnson, that for now, while the reconstruction of the demolished edifice is being executed, he's providing an alternative venue for these lawmakers to see. But the question many are asking here is, if not that their seats have been declared declared vacant, the 25 loyal to the immediate governor of Rivers State will have been able to gain access into that particular facility that will act as the chambers for the lawmakers as we speak. That is one question that many are asking here. Back to you, Rupa.
Omano, the exact title of Professor Aneji's
Yes,
Okoro's novel that I quoted earlier is One Week, One Trouble. But what you guys have in Rivers is One Day, One Trouble. Now, I say it's One Day, One Trouble because yesterday the 25 lawmakers were cited jollophing and pepper souping at the residence of Nyesom Wike, Minister of the SCT in Abuja, who seems to be the major catalyst of this problem. Can you confirm to us that those 25 lawmakers are back in Port Harcourt? And also that there are insinuations that they are going to hold their own session today in the State House of Assembly complex, wherever they are residential premises, and then also arrive at their own resolutions. And are there any developments about attempts to go to court to challenge the decision that their seats have been declared vacant by a minority of 5, purportedly backed, of course, by court-ordained declaration in an ex parte injunction? And do you have information as to whether they are going to take steps to challenge, all of these legal dimensions to the crisis?
Thank you so much, Abati. That may not be unlikely because when situations get to a head like this, I think that may just be one avenue that whoever is engrossed in this kind of political turmoil would want to explore. And remember, the speaker we have today, the person of Edison Ehie, is caught back. I like the way Arise is putting it. He's caught back. And if we operate in a democracy and the court has said this is what should happen, I think whoever is involved, both parties involved, should play according to the rules. So I see these 25 lawmakers resorting to court to see how they can vacate that particular pronouncement by that court. That is one. The legislators, and Dr. Abati, I must also commend your sense of expression that they were busy jollophing and in Abuja. I wouldn't be able to put a finger whether all of them are back or not. But it's very likely that some of them would have gotten back into Port Harcourt because Port Harcourt is the political epicenter of this crisis. And so they cannot afford to fight this war from outside Port Harcourt. Some of them may be in, some of them may not have come back. Since the crisis started, legislators have been moving like thieves in the night. You hardly see them What you see is they get into wherever they want, whatever place they want to do, they just move into the place, get their business executed within a twinkle of an eye, and off they go. Even when you try to put a call through to them, they don't answer your call. They don't respond to whether SMS or WhatsApp messaging. It's been a game of we come, we execute what we want to do, and we disappear into thin air. It's very also likely that they may want to sit today, but the question is, where are they likely going to sit? Like you observed, because where has been, that is the opposition, are they opposition? No, the faction, 25 may be loyal to the former governor. They'll be sitting at the House of Assembly complex, except they will make their way into there this morning and decide to sit in the building that is already in rubble. I want to believe we are keeping a tab on it. We got that information late last night, but you really cannot say it is going to happen or it is not going to happen. Because since this political crisis started, it's been one day, one trouble, one different political development, different factions trying to outdo themselves. Abati.
Well, if the faction decides to sit, I wonder which mace they would use, because I believe that the mace is with the court-backed Speaker of the House, who sat yesterday to receive the budget presentation by the Governor of Rivers State. Let's talk about that for a second. How did the proceedings go? You can see the footage right now for those who are watching on screen, the governor presenting what he's described as a budget for economic recovery to address economic concerns in Rivers State. However, how did it go yesterday? Was it received by the Speaker of the House? And then, just to ask with regards to some clarifications which we had asked yesterday, now that you have more information, we asked about files in the complex. Were they removed before the demolition? We asked about equipment. Were they removed before the demolition yesterday? So just a few clarifications there as well.
All right, thank you so much, Ayo. Let me start from the rear of your questions. Were files in the House of Assembly complex or any other personal effect or very important personal effect, were they removed? I must confirm that not even a pin was removed before that demolition started. That is the answer to that question. And for the budget of yesterday, 800 billion naira budget meant to look at some critical areas that the Rivers people are yearning for. One, human capital development. One, very strategic infrastructure. The governor presented that budget yesterday and said, look, once the budget is given a nod, that is what he intends to do, because quickly Rivers State, in terms of unemployment, is occupying a very enviable, in quote, position in terms of employment amongst the 36 state structure that this country presents today. The governor has said he intends to tackle that and do projects that will have meaningful impact on the people of Rivers State. And so, yes, 800 billion naira budget was presented, and the House received that budget. And I think what is going to happen, if not today, in the next couple of days, is for the House, led by court-backed Edison Ehie, to discuss that particular budget and give it, pass it into a workable document, as it were. That is going to happen. Then two, there was another question you asked that has to do with the number of legislators that actually sat to pass that budget, whether it will be recognized. I am not a lawyer, but as somebody who is a journalist and who read extensively, in order to be able to speak a little bit intelligently on any issue, a court has recognized this faction by Edison Ehie and as a speaker. And so if the court has recognized, and the recognized speaker and his members, whether they are one or two, declare the seats of these fellow lawmakers who defected to another party vacant, And we are all privy to the fact that we have said at their level, anybody who defect, that is any legislators who defect from a particular political platform to another without indices of what should warrant that, he automatically loses his seat. I think the action, that is receiving the budget yesterday, are probably eventually discussing it today or the days ahead in order to give it their assent, would hold water to some level. Ayo.
Real quick, before we wrap up, please, if you can be quick, because we know we're pressed for time. In the State Executive Council, there are still members there that are loyal to Governor Wike, former Governor Wike. Has Governor Sim Fubara taken a decision on them?
Yeah, for now, Rufai, no. I can answer. The answer to that question is no. But of course, what has been happening since this crisis started is you really cannot know where the major political dramatic personnel are going until they take their decision. For instance, the pulling down of this, nobody was aware of it. The sitting of the opposition, the Martins Amehule-led legislators that have the support, allegedly have the support of the immediate past governor, they come, they do their thing, and they disappear. So probably in the next couple of days, we would see if there is going to be a decision taken on these legislators by the sitting governor. But as I relate with you on this live platform, we've yet to get any inkling to what is likely going to have happened to them. If any decision is going to be taken by the governor concerning...
No, I was talking about the state ESCO. I was talking about the state ESCO, like commissioners and people that are serving with the governor. The state ESCO, there are some of them that are loyal to former Governor Wike.
Okay.
Has he taken a decision on them yet?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There is no formal decision yet. There is no formal decision. Yesterday, the rumor mill was agog that the state commissioner for, the state attorney general and commissioner for justice have been asked to go, that the chief of staff have been asked to go. But I think all these are mere rumors as we speak. The governor, yes, has got a lot of his cabinet members who are still loyal to his predecessor. He's yet to take a decision on them. Rufai, probably what he's doing is to first of all watch before he takes any move. For now, no decision has been. Even as at yesterday, there was this rumor that by this morning the local government chairman, all of them, that particular structure of government is going to be dissolved and caretaker will be. There is a lot of rumor making the rounds here, but it is now left for us who are on ground to be able to sieve the shaft from the wheat. Nothing like that has happened as I make this live broadcast.
Well, thank you very much, Andy Omano, for the report from Port Harcourt in River State. We look forward to more updates, and hopefully the peace and calm you've expressed this morning will continue in the state.